I believe that you should cherish the moments you have with your loved one. What made me come to this great realization is when I was caught in a house fire when I was 4 years old, and I was forced to save my grandmother's life. The story starts when I was 4 years old, playing on a computer, eating a hot dog that my dad had prepared for me a few minutes earlier. The hot dog was my late dinner, however I wanted more, so I asked my dad if he could prepare more for me. When he put the hot dog on the stove, he had to step out of the house to talk to somebody, leaving the hot dog unattended. While the hot dog was unattended, the fire was allowed to grow to enormous heights, and it started to engulf the old kitchen, little by little, inch by inch, making the kitchen look like a fiery underworld. When I finally noticed the fire had started, I looked into the orange flames with tears in my eyes. That's when I ran as fast as I could to my grandmother's room, where she was sleeping, and I said to her, "Grandma, the computer blew up. The computer blew up." She thought that I thought the computer was just glitching, and told me to get to my dad and went back to sleep, unaware of the danger that was lurking behind her. When I went back into the room I was previously in, I was in a state of shock and fear, so I had forgotten my dad had gone outside to talk on the phone, and I thought he was still in the fiery kitchen. I started to get as close to the flames as possible, so I called out to my dad to get out the kitchen. I did this until the thick black smoke was too much for my 4-year-old lungs to handle. When I noticed that he was not going to magically appear out the kitchen, I started to sob. I went back to my grandma's room and said, "Grandma, the computer blew up, the computer blew up," but this time with tears frantically running down my face. This is when my grandma began to realize that she should see what I was talking about, and that's when she began to realize the danger of the situation. She looked and saw her beautiful old kitchen engulfed in flames. That's when she grabbed my hand and ran out of the house with me while calling my grandpa to get up. In the midst of running out the house and seeing the fire department spray the wild flames out, I made a connection in my head that nothing lasts forever, that you should cherish everything that life hands to you, the good and the bad. I believe the situation made me stronger in a way. The fire made me the person I am today. The antagonist of my story is obviously my father, since he caused the fire that made me have this great realization, and his actions also made me more careful in life. The climax of my story is when me and my grandmother ran out the house, and while running, I had the great realization that nothing lasts forever, and I should cherish these moments. So, this is